I'm Rob Karpenko. I work for a company called Tire, and I represent a brand called Kavalan. Now, I think maybe a lot of you haven't heard of Kavalan, and you won't have heard of Tire, so I'll take the opportunity just to frame who we are, what we do, the categories we operate in, and the challenges or traditional challenges we've faced, and how our approach is not necessarily the easiest approach or the cheapest approach, but it differentiates us. And it also, we think we're doing the right thing in a very crowded market. So, say I work for a company called Tire, private company, formed in 1972, still a family business. And we are based in Yilan in Taiwan, manufacturing facilities in Shanghai, warehousing across the world. I head up Europe, so I'm talking to big retailers, specifiers, sports organizations, and also distributors which are servicing the large format, wide format digital printers. Just to frame who we are, and I'm not trying to promote my brand, it's just so you get an understanding of where we're coming from as a manufacturer. We started life in the healthcare industry, so if you've ever had your blood pressure taken, it's highly likely you've come in physical contact with one of our products. So the fabric, which is the wraparound for the blood pressure. We do patio awnings, membranes, industrial fabrics, so the curtain siders for trucks, belts for the running machines, the weldable materials for the airtight fabrics for the ribs, so into the military and the sports area, and my area, which is signage. Predominantly and traditionally a very cutthroat business, selling the whitest white product or the cheapest product. When we decided to launch Kavalan a number of years ago, we could have taken the easy route, or we could have taken the right route, in which we feel is right in terms of a bottom-up approach of developing a product which is environmentally good or better than the alternatives, and quantifying that to our customers and the specifiers and the end consumers. So, say my brand Kavalan, the name comes from the name given to the indigenous people of Taiwan, which are in danger. So there's a link there to what we do. Our product range, we sell fabrics, textiles, we sell banners, all PVC free. Our approach to the market is to try and simplify our message, so we don't use product codes, so the front lit will be a sunlight because of the sunlight, backlit, moonlight, and so on, the spider web for the mesh. Cornerstones, and this is where we move away from more product-specific topics into how we approach the market and how we try to differentiate ourselves in taking our story to the market. We're very transparent, so we share all of our data points. We have independent auditors coming into the factory, assessing all of our products. We have LCAs in place, and we share that information. Not many manufacturers operating in these categories tend to share the information. They tend to go to market with very bold environmental statements and not really back it up. So, as I say, we have LCAs. So I saw a previous presentation, it was mentioned, we have these for all of our products. We also have it for some of the technology we have. We have the auditors coming in and looking at that as well. We have an eco calculator. I'll demonstrate this just to show you how we engage with the customer, how we can theoretically promote our products by not talking about the product too much, and how we've taken a very different approach to pushing our brand. So our approach, again, it's transparency, it's honesty, and it's looking at future generations. So we firmly believe that our product should be, how do we say, less harmful to the environment from the very stage of how we wash our yarn, in terms of before weaving, to how we coat it, to how we transport it. Rightly or wrongly, when we go to market, and we I think the title of the presentation is How We've Disrupted the Market. We don't talk about our product. So we don't go to the market saying, look, you've got this white product, it's great, it's environmentally friendly, it's at this price point. We don't do that. We talk about environmental concerns. So we talk about CO2. The past couple of years, we've had a very heavy focus on water and the global water crisis. And we also talk about fine particulate matter. Now, we go to market with these messages. It all relates back to the product in some way, because at the end of the day, we want to sell more product. But we're not going to market as our competitors do with, look how great this prints, how cheap it is. It's really this holistic approach of looking at, look, this is what's happening in the environment. This is the impact of moving to our product. So we can look at the positive impacts of moving to Kavalan over the traditional type of product within this category. And how we quantify this, we have a eco-calculator, so an online platform for printers, for distributors, for the likes of IKEA, who we engage with, or sports clubs, where they can go in and they can type what their requirement is for printed materials, and this will give information on the LCA impact reductions. It will look at CO2, look at waste to energy, because the product burns clean, and it will give them a detailed overview of the positive impact of moving to this brand over a similar brand which they potentially will be purchasing today. As I say, we have the life cycle assessment. The eco-calculator also has a life cycle assessment, so it's all about confidence of our customers, confidence of the specifiers, and our honesty and transparency of taking that message to market. So, next few slides, I'll just show you how we approach the market, and here's one of the projects which we did in London last year. So you may have seen this. It's the building wrap of IKEA. It's brilliant. It's won a couple of awards, and the other side is the Nike store, but we'll focus on the IKEA bag. So this is all printed on Kavalan, our product, a white product going into the printer, printed as the IKEA blue bag. So that project, we talk about honesty and transparency. For this presentation, I said to the designer who designed the presentation, just put 3,000 square meters for the project size, and I was told off like a schoolboy, because it's not 3,000 square meters, it's 2,878 square meters of the project. This is give you an indication of how honest we are of our approach. It's always down to the point. So that project was so big, and we can identify the savings across a number of different categories of moving to our product over the PVC alternative. So we know that there was enough water saved to provide 29 adults with clean drinking water for a year, just from the one product, just from this one project. We saved 1,410 kilos of CO2 and various other savings. So we also recognise in our approach to market that when we say, yes, we've saved 1,402 kilos of CO2, for maybe 60% of the people we're talking to, it means nothing. It means nothing. So we always try and simplify it. So for our CO2 savings, we say, well, actually it's the equivalent of almost 27 economy seats, the CO2 that would generate between London and Amsterdam. We have different iterations which we can use for different countries we sell in. Or the amount of fossil fuel that's been saved from the production process, it's the equivalent to about 4 return trips between London and Paris in a 3 Series BMW. Again, SGS have been in, they've quantified it. When Google Flights changed their way of doing CO2 last year, we had to change everything as well. So we don't want our customers to be caught out, because we want them to take this message to their customers. This is just briefly how it would work in the eco-calculator. You have a drop-down menu with all of the products which we have, 3 silos of information. And so just talk through the impact. We can go into as much detail as we need to, or as much detail as a customer needs. So we go to marine ecotoxicity or terrestrial ecotoxicity. It's not an easy route to market this, so it's not an easy sell. Typically when I talk to specifiers or for projects, it's an 18-month lead time. If I'm selling on price, I could do it in 3 months. But it's not what we want to do as a business. So business has confidence in me in terms of taking that product, and it's a longer tail to get our orders. But we realize that at the end of the day, once we get customers hooked in, it's very difficult for them to switch because nobody can provide this level of detail to the market. Fresh water, as I say, this is a major concern for us in terms of the impact which manufacturers have. Our brand is getting more and more successful in the retail industry, clothing retailers, as they're looking to reduce their water usage. Talk about honesty and transparency, and we talk about greenwashing, and if we look at the category in which we operate, a lot of manufacturers will go to market saying, look, you can recycle our product, it's easy. We know that our product is recyclable, but we're very honest about it, and if you're a printer, say, in Germany, do you really want to send a truck of printed material once it's come back from the market? Do you want to send it to Amsterdam to be recycled, and then for more CO2 to be used in the recycling process and to pay? So it's about the honest approach and the transparency. So when we engage with our customers and with the market, we're very honest, very transparent. So rather than saying, look, you can recycle it and not backing it up with any data, we know that our product will go to incineration and it will burn clean. So it doesn't need to go to the incinerator at 3 o'clock on a Saturday morning. And we know how much electricity burning the project for IKEA, how much electricity it would produce. Again, we know in kilowatt hours, which doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people. So we simplify the message. We know how much heat it will produce as well. Talk about water consumption. And this is it's an easy topic to talk about, but it's a difficult topic for end users and specifiers to get engaged with. So we keep pushing the message along, but we know that by using our product, because of our manufacturing methods, for the PVC banners or the alternatives, it's 50% less water that we use. And for the textiles, it's up to 70% less water. So it's a really strong message which we have. And like I say, we don't go to market with our product is the whitest, it's the brightest, it all relates back, but it's the environmental message which we have. And we know the last time figures were shown for PVC banners in Europe usage, it was 2018. We know in that year, if all of the product just for that category was switched to our product, we would have saved enough fresh water for 4 million people in that year. So it's big, the impact. So we have the manufacturing part right, it's just getting this message over, and yeah, it's part of our brand story, which is evolving, and we're becoming more and more successful. And that's me for today, just to give you an insight of a different approach in a very crowded category.
Thank you, Rob.